Okay, hello everyone. Thank you so much for having me in this deep learning in IndabaX, Uganda. My name is Neema Mduma, a lecturer from the Nelson Mandela African Institution of Science and Technology in Arusha, Tanzania. I am also the founder of Bakishule initiative, which aims at promoting science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to girls in secondary schools in Tanzania. My today's presentation is on the role of AI in education. Before I start presenting on the role of AI in education, first maybe we should briefly know about AI and probably machine learning and deep learning. Basically, artificial intelligence or AI is intelligence demonstrated by machines, as opposed to natural intelligence displayed by humans. It describes machines that mimic cognitive functions such as learning and problem solving. AI is very broad, and as you can see from this diagram here, machine learning and deep learning are the subsets of AI. AI focuses on giving computers ability to reason as human beings. Machine learning gives computers ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. Deep learning, also at the subset of machine learning, is a network capable of adapting itself to new data. Currently, there is widespread belief that AI will replace humans in workplaces. However, AI was designed to empower humans to make better decisions or to increase precision, to easy tasks, etc. For example, in manufacturing industries, programmed robots collaborate with workers to make work more efficient. In healthcare, AI has been applied in early disease diagnostics, for example, cancer diagnosis, which would have taken a long time in lab tests. In advanced web search engines such as Google and Bing, AI algorithms have been applied in search suggestions. In social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, AI is used in recommendation system, whether friends, music videos, etc. Voice assistants such as Siri and Google Assistants uses AI to understand human speech and execute tasks such as making calls, reading text, playing music, etc. So AI can be applied in different sectors as explained, and my presentation will focus on what AI can do in education. AI can play a great role in education and assist teachers to help students attain academic excellence. The advancement in technology, such as the use of computers in schools, internet, etc., may enhance learning as compared to the past. AI has led to the development of the virtual learning tools that help students to study at any time and place. The vision for AI in education is to combine the best attributes of machines and teachers for the best outcomes for students, particularly learning. In the classroom, AI can assist students that need help with a particular concept by either identifying and/or rectifying materials so that an individual student can easily understand. Also, there is AI tools that can even group students in a way to best accelerate their learning. In the future, some believe AI tools will even be able to identify when students are having problems with a particular concept based on their facial expressions only. Also, AI in education extends outside classroom. For example, AI tools such as virtual assistants, which are trained on database that is filled with frequently asked questions from students on a certain topic, and appropriate answers from teachers. may offer additional support to students. So instead of parents hiring teachers to assist their children outside classroom, the AI tools can offer a helping hand. The accuracy of answers is double-checked before the tools began to auto-respond to students' questions on its own. This technology can also be used to help students prepare for tests and exams. AI tools can help school administrators to make better decisions. For example, AI tools can help to identify courses and curriculum that need to be reviewed and improved. Also, data on school attendance can help administrators to pinpoint wrongs and how to address it. AI tools can also help in planning and resource allocations, such as teaching materials, infrastructures, such as classrooms, latrines, laboratories, etc. So how can AI improve the education system in Africa? Education in Africa faces several challenges. For example, the problem of student dropout, which is high in most African countries, the issue of student textbook ratios. Also, there is shortage of classrooms, laboratories, latrines, etc. So how can we use these emerging technologies such as AI in solving these challenges? And that was the question that I posed during designing of my PhD research. So I decided to work on student dropout problem, which is one of the biggest challenges in the secondary schools in Africa. Despite initiatives such as free education in public secondary schools in Tanzania, a student dropout is still high and is commonly linked to factors such as school distance, early pregnancy or early marriage, household level activities, parental investment, and so on. Addressing this problem requires a deep understanding of the underlying causes and a better plan for intervention. Therefore, a machine learning model using student-level datasets was developed in order to understand to what extent different factors contribute to student dropout problem. Also, the model was trained to predict and identify students who are at risk of dropping out of school and suggest proper measures for intervention. So to achieve this, 4 machine learning algorithms, which are logistic regressions, multi-layer perceptron, random forest, and k-nearest neighbor were used. And 3 metrics, which are geometric mean, adjacent geometric mean, and F-measure, were used to evaluate performance of the developed model. Also, feature engineering experiment was conducted in order to identify factors that show strong contribution to the student dropout problem. So the results from the feature engineering experiment based on the dataset show that student gender, parent check child book, and meals per day were the 3 factors that highly contribute to the problem of student dropout. So this is contrary to what is perceived by most people in the society who tend to link student dropout problem with direct and obvious factors such as school distance, early pregnancy, and so on, and ignore factors with indirect link to the problem. Also, the machine learning model was deployed in a web-based application called Bakishule for education stakeholders to easily identify students who are at risk of dropping out of school. So 6 features, which are student gender, student age, meals per day, reading book status, parent review status, and parent-teacher relation, were used as input information. For example, you can see here, the student gender was female, the student age 21, the meals per day 3, reading book status, student does not read book with parents, the parent review status, parent check student's book once, And parent-teacher relations show that the parents discuss with teachers on student progress, and the status was predicted to be dropout. So Bakishule has been able to correctly identify and predict students who are at risk of dropping out of school with the accuracy of 85%. So these are some of the challenges that I faced when conducting this study. Starting with the issue of data. Most of the data were not available in digital form, so it took a lot of time and cost to digitize them. Second, most of the data sets in developing countries are not publicly available in open access repositories. And lastly, the issue of data imbalance. For example, the data sets that I worked with were highly imbalanced due to the fact that the number of registered students is always high compared to the number of dropouts. Therefore, several data balancing techniques were applied, such as random oversampling, SMOT, SMOTIN, and SMOTOMIC, in order to observe which data balancing techniques will perform well with our data sets. Another challenge was the shortage of experts in the field of AI. As we all know that this is an emerging field, especially in developing countries, so at some point we need technical assistance from outside. Also, people's perception towards AI was another challenge. This is because some of the people are still not believing on the power of this emerging field in solving several challenges in the society. So in the future, AI may change the education system, for example, where students learn, who teaches them, and how they acquire knowledge. In Africa, these changes might take few decades due to some challenges as explained earlier. Some of education programs which are powered by AI are always helping students to learn basic skills, and with time, they will offer students a much wider range of service to make learning easier and enjoyable. Thank you very much.